I want to introduce you, well, you already know him, but formally, to Andrew Clennell. Andrew Clennell is going to be the new national political editor here at Sky News. He will be balancing between his home city of Sydney and Canberra. He'll be breaking news on the hour during the days. He'll be giving analysis with us here at night in prime time. He is an excellent choice for this position, and we had a chance to have a chat a bit earlier today.
Well, it feels amazing. It's an amazing honour, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, as you know, I've been on Sky for quite a while now, and you kind of feel like you keep putting your name up there and eventually something will happen for you, and that's what's happened. And, you know, I've come to know a lot of you at Sky, and looking forward to working with all of you because it's a great team. And you know, Sky has just gone from strength to strength. I remember 20 years ago in Canberra, it was sort of one guy in a box down there, David Spears. He was it, and now you've got like 7 gun reporters there. So it really is like I feel like I'm really about to become part of something very important, and as a long-time print journo, it is kind of a situation of stepping out of the shadows because you're a bit anonymous there in the print world, and there's nowhere to hide in the TV world, as you know.
Well, and remember, Twitter isn't real life, so who cares what it says? Let's assume you know, it's already, you know, that's for the Guardian, right? Who cares what they do? Now,
that's right.
You know, I mean, we've talked about this before. When people see you regularly with Peter Credlin, they'd know this, right? You are clearly a guy who are very well connected, but also you are genuinely unafraid of upsetting the political class. If you see a story worth pursuing, you'll go there. And if we want to talk about both sides of politics, in the Liberal Party, Barry O'Farrell, bottles of wine and eventually going off to ICAC. On the Labor side of things, Luke Foley and the touching up of a journalist. So you're a bloke who's willing to burn a bridge to save the village, right?
I think that's about right. And I think that courage is a really important thing in journalism. And look, you know, some of these stories aren't easy. You cop a fair backlash. You know, like a lot of journalists, I've copped threats on occasion. There have been some pretty nasty characters around New South Wales politics over the years, but you believe you're kind of doing a public service. And, you know, the public don't get to go and ask questions of politicians or examine what they're up to. They rely on journalists to do it. And I've always had that in mind when I've done it. I've thought, what questions do the public want to know of these people? What standards do they want them held to? And it's been a real battle by me and others to try and clean up New South Wales politics over the past few years, and I feel we've had some success. So, you know, to go federal, and you know, I've obviously done a fair bit of federal from time to time, including a couple of years in the Canberra Press Gallery years ago. But it's that next challenge of holding those guys to account, and I can assure you I'll be doing my damn best and doing it courageously. I mean, that's what you say. You've got to be unafraid to take these people on, even when they want answer behind the scenes, even when they challenge you. That's all the game, and you know, it's good to have some experience behind me and not be intimidated by any of all of that.
Well, also, you know how it works here too, that, you know, well, let's not kiss ass too much on TV, but it is important for people to understand here that our boss, Paul Whittaker, is a bloke who will back you all the way to the High Court and beyond. If he thinks the story's right, he's willing to back you. And let's be honest, in a world where cancel culture exists, you've got to have the support, and you would have had this in newspapers for years. You've got to have the support of somebody who's not going to be intimidated by a phone call from a fellow CEO or a head of a political party or the former Prime Minister calling on behalf of the current Prime Minister.
Yeah, well, Paul Whittaker has had calls from premiers complaining about me and calls from Prime Ministers complaining about me, and he's always held the line. And I have to say that in my 25-year career, the best work I've ever done has been for Paul Whittaker. So I'm looking forward to renewing that acquaintance. He's a straight shooter, a bit like us, Paul.
Bloody oath.
And
meetings are very short.
He's a great journalist. He's a multiple Walkley Award-winning journalist. And to have that sort of journalist as your boss, means that he understands what you're going through when you're doing the hard yarns.
Now, two last ones, because I'm going to let you go. It's a Sunday, right? How are you going to avoid the Canberra bubble? Because one of the best things about this, and one of the things that annoys particularly Channel 2, is that this TV station is viewed all across Parliament House. That includes much of the media who sit there and sort of immediately thumbs up or thumbs down while you open your mouth. How are you ready to engage with them? Because it is a different beast than say, New South Wales or any other state gallery.
Yeah, well, the Canberra Press Gallery, you've got a lot of people who've lived there for 20 years, and that's fair enough. You've got a lot of people who've done a fantastic job. I feel that it's an advantage that I'll be Sydney-based and there in sitting weeks, in the sense that I will be talking to more people from the suburbs. You know, you have that luxury. You know, I'll do battle with any journalist, and I look forward to doing so. And I think we have a fantastic team with Kieran and Laura and others, Tom Connell, you know, Annalise Nielsen, keep going, covering federal politics. So I'm looking forward to all that. But apart from all of that, I know that if you think I'm getting too much into the Canberra bubble, Paul, you'll be pulling me up for one.
It will be there in spades, no question, vice versa, but I don't think it'll ever be a gravitational issue for me. Last one here. All right, for any pollies who haven't had to deal with you, where's the common ground? Are you a horse racing man? Are you a secret sort of lover of reality television? If a politician wants to reach out and bond with Andrew Clennell, how do they start to do it?
Well, I like the horses, that's for sure. I like the AFL. I'm a mad West Coast Eagles fan. I play guitar. But most importantly, and what keeps me grounded, as with you and many others, is I have young kids. I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. And, you know, my family means the world to me, my wife and kids. And, look, I've found over the years that's an awesome way to relate to people, particularly, I mean, most politicians are in that situation, and they have the struggles of work-life balance that we all cope with. So that's always a good starting point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I tell you what, you know, little kids, it gives you a reason to fight and a reason to focus. And I look forward to seeing you in your absolute flying best. We'll see you all day. We'll see you all night. It'll be an awful lot of Andrew Clennell on the TV, and that's exactly the way that we like it. Sky News has got a big win getting this bloke to join us. You'll see him on telly regularly next year. Andrew, congratulations. Welcome aboard, and let's kick ass.
Look forward to it, Paul, very much so.